banting struggle with is like fat loss with keto versus fat loss with low carb.
Okay, so
Okay, so that's like another question.
such a good question.
I
Actually.
know, because it's like, well, how low do your carbs have to be? Can you lose fat with low carb, or does it have to be keto? So that's kind of like one of my burning questions.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
I'm gonna. No, yes, we've got the beautiful beach in the background. Okay, so you know what the question is, Stephanie?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so what's the difference between a banting low carb, high fat, and ketogenesis is like two universes. So essentially, low carb, high fat really is, I think the original concept is designed to regulate your insulin. And insulin is the hormone that regulates your weight. Essentially, insulin makes things grow, including muscle and fat cells. It's designed to take glucose out of the blood or amino acids from proteins and put it somewhere. Insulin will give you energy in cells so you can move around and jump and run and do whatever you need to do, because it's going to deliver that glucose into the cell. When people develop insulin resistance, the insulin is not able to get that glucose into the cells for you to have energy. And so a lot of things just get stored into your fat cells. It's like overproduction of insulin for the pancreas, deliver the glucose into your fat cells, and that's what you do on carbohydrates. And so people think, oh, well, if I get rid of the carbs, I'm going to drop the glucose, and the insulin I'm going to stop storing, because insulin is going to drive the glucose into the fat cells. Hi. Good morning. It's going to drive the glucose into the fat cell. Now, the problem is it doesn't work like that. You might as well just be on a starvation diet, because there's more people coming. I'm saying.
Cleaning up the rubbish.
I know, right? The body does not work like that. So, for example, the woman that I stayed with was all into banting. She said, I think she lost like, I think she lost something like 20-something kilos. She lost a lot. So on a very tiny frame, and she said, I want to keep doing my version of banting or keto, because she was following me. So in her mind, she's doing keto until I reach my weight goal. So I grabbed her arm and I said, you are gluconeogenic, you have hot flashes, and you look unhealthy because you're not in ketosis and you drop your carbs. But your brain still needs the glucose because you're not in ketosis, you're not using ketones. So banting, the problem with banting is a lot of people are just simply on starvation diets, and you don't have to be a banter to do that. So you drop your carbs, you just drop your total calories essentially, right? Because nobody eats enough fat. I keep hearing 60 grams of fat, that's a joke. I get people to eat up to 200 grams of fat to drive ketogenesis, so they won't catabolize, which means that their body is not going to eat itself to survive. You don't ever want your body to rob from Paul to give it to Pete. You don't want your body to steal morning. You never want your body to steal from its muscle to feed the brain. Because once you steal from muscle, your hormones go and you get messed up times 1,000. You mess up your leptin, you mess up your pancreas, you mess up your adrenals, you mess up sex hormones and pregnenolone and DHEA and all of these things to balance your body, and then you start developing hot flashes. So this particular woman started to develop hot flashes at the age of 40. You're not premenopausal yet. Premenopausal should be at 50 years of age. And everything has become reduced because our new normal for health is not healthy. So people who do, I know there's no simple answer. The simple answer is ketosis drives ketones, and your body uses its own body fat as fuel rather than muscle. So fat is inactive. It doesn't have any metabolic popcorn things going on in the cells. It just sits there waiting to be used. Muscle is your life force. It regulates hormones, it regulates your metabolism, it regulates your structural bones, your bone density. It's essentially your fountain of youth. And when you starve yourself, your body goes into gluconeogenesis, which is the breakdown of amino acids from skin, the collagen under your skin. You know when people have that turkey gobbler thing? The muscle in their neck drops because stress and cortisol is robbing from that part of the neck, from your triceps. Why so many women go, I hate my triceps, to your belly, right under the pendulous fat, right under your belly button. And that's where your body robs from as you're stepping on the scale, losing weight, but you're in actuality losing muscle. Because the body will break down muscle to get glucose into the brain because you are not ketogenic as a banter, period.
Even though it's high fat though.
That's not high fat, 60 grams is not high fat.
And even if people are peeing on a stick and it's turning purple.
That doesn't mean anything. Ketones lost from the body. That's not ketones being used. Urine strips don't work. So I'm sorry, they don't work. And even Steve Finney and Jeff Bullock start saying, well, the urine strips aren't that really great when it comes to ketosis because you are breaking down ketones because your body is starving. And so what it does is ketones will go into the urine out of your body. They're not used. So people are still hypoglycemic. There's still thyroid, hyperthyroid. If you have things like gout or if you got Crohn's, if you have any health issues, they will become exacerbated through a banter's diet of peeing out ketones and your glucose at over 5.0. You can't use ketones if your glucose is too high because that's always going to be the safety mechanism for the brain to survive. You have to use a glucometer that measures your blood values, and even that's subjective. So on top of a blood glucometer, I have people track their energy levels and their appetite. And so, or how fast they rapidly lose weight to make sure that you don't lose muscle converted into glucose. There are some people who've got histamine intolerance, they develop food allergies, food sensitivities, and they'll test perfect ketogenic numbers, but they'll still have all of the health issues, or they don't lose the weight. So people who have rapid weight loss on a banter's diet, on a low carb, high fat, are losing weight because they're losing muscle. And that's dangerous. That lowers your immune function, does a lot of stressful things. Your adrenals are like cranking out adrenaline to create the cortisol, to then break down the amino acids, to convert into glucose. And that type of glucose is not a good energy. You want stored glycogen as your main energy for a day. But then you would have to eat carbs every 2 hours and maintain glycogen. So there's always these really bad negative feedback loops. And the only way to fix it is to properly get your stress down and get prepared for this banter or keto like you're training for the Olympics. Now, do people have to do keto to lose weight? No. Can they do a low carb, high fat diet and still remain a carb person, but they're not eating all these processed carbohydrates, which regulates their pancreas more? Of course. But then you have to be on point. You have to have your low carbs exactly at the right timing to not burn muscle, to not mess up your reproductive hormones. And that's what people don't do, and there's no book saying any of this stuff. And I watch person after person after person have their health gutted doing keto the wrong way, or banting, or low carb, or paleo, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
There you go.
Jeez.